Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the attendees of this session. And it's now the time to introduce the speaker of the day, Dr. Rajesh Verma, Professor and Dean, Mittal School of Business, Lovely Professional University. He has excelled in the areas of market orientation, political marketing, business models, marketing research, and strategic management. Having 19 plus years of experience, has acted as a resource person in more than 35 faculty development programs and has organized 8 national and international level conferences and workshops. He has published 18 case studies, around 50 research papers in journals, and has done enormous amount of work in publishing books. He has also received Research Appreciation Award from Honorable Minister of Human Resource Development, Government of India. I welcome you, Dr. Verma.
Thank you, Rish. Thank you.
We also have with us the most appropriate person to take up the queries regarding admissions and scholarship, Ms. Kavisha, Assistant Professor, Lovely Professional University, having 8+ years of experience pursuing PhD in gamification, having more than 12 international publications, and has won Best Smart Education Award from Ministry of Urban Affairs. I welcome you, madam. And it's now over to Dr. Verma for the content of the day.
Thank you, Rishiji. Good evening, everyone. The topic for today's discussion would be why MBA at Mittal School of Business LPU. But before I actually enter into that, let me wish you all a very, very happy Eid. The entire country is celebrating Eid, so wish you all a very, very happy Eid. Now to move ahead with the session, I think I define MBA program as a sea, right? The way most rivers meet sea, all disciplines for better career meet MBA, right? It may be BTech, it may be BA, it may be BSc, it may be any discipline you talk of. All of them would culminate at the end with MBA for a better careers. So when BTechs join directly with the companies, later after 3-4 years also they come back and do their MBA for better careers. So MBA is probably for all the disciplines which we are having in education. Why one should go in for MBA? There are 3 prime reasons, and my entire presentation would be based upon those 3 dimensions. So the first is to gain knowledge, right? The basic purpose of any qualification or any degree or any thing which you want to pursue in life is generally to gain knowledge. So in MBA also, the basic purpose is that to acquire knowledge, right? Then the second is to gain experience, right? Because MBA, we believe, is all about experience. For example, in case of chemistry, you would be working in labs. In case of BTech, there would be a lot of labs. But in case of MBA, the entire industry is the lab. And the kind of experience a student should have in the life, they would get that experience during the MBA program. And I told you I'll elaborate upon all these 3 things when I enter into my presentation. And the third thing why everybody generally do MBA is for a wonderful career ahead, right? So these are the 3 pointers which I would like to discuss today. First, MBA is to gain knowledge. How do we impart knowledge? What all things should be there in MBA program that helps in gaining that knowledge? Second, how do we give you the overall experience that enhances your overall personality? Because MBA is more to do with your overall personality. And finally, most of us would be looking to build a wonderful career ahead. So how MBA would help us in developing that career? So these are the 3 dimensions, and the agenda for the presentation would be, I'll speak briefly about the school. Then I'll talk about few industry trends in brief. I'll talk about the knowledge dimension, which I just shared with you. Then I'll talk about the experience dimension, and then I'll talk about the career dimension. So this would be the flow of the presentation, and I'll briefly take you through all these dimensions, and then finally I'll take up questions which you have from my presentation, or maybe apart from my presentation. So the first thing I'll talk about is you should know which program, which school you are targeting for doing MBA program. So at LPU, Mittal School of Business is the school which offers the MBA program, right? And this school started in 2001. It was established in year 2001. So we now have more than 2 decades of experience in providing quality education. Then I think most of you would know that in India, the most trusted rankings of the institution is by Government of India, which is known as NRIF ranking. So Ministry of Education every year ranks institutions based upon their performance, and we feel proud to say that Mittal School of Business or the management department of lovely professional university is amongst the top 50 B schools in the country. Then we are the institution which is accredited by ACBSP USA, and ACBSP USA is an accrediting body of United States of America. And when we got this accreditation, we were amongst the first 10 institutions to be accredited in India. Now, what does this accreditation mean to you is that the curriculum which we teach you or the systems which we follow are of global standards, because this is a global accreditation agency and they see it from global perspective. So this gives you the confidence that the systems and the curriculum is as per the global standards. So NRIF ranking is more to do with the national ranking, whereas accreditation from USA is to do with global standards. Then in our school, we would have 25 different programs, and I'll speak about the MBA programs today. Then we would have PhD also here, and finally, these all 3 programs, all 25 plus programs are from 3 disciplines: management, commerce, and economics. So the school which you would be part of, we would have management, commerce, and economics discipline in that same school. And finally, to talk about diversity, which is again very important dimension when it comes to the student learning, we would have students from different countries. I mentioned the number there, so more than 350 students from 25 plus countries, and we would have students from all states of India. So that is the kind of classroom you would sit in, where you would have a lot of students from other states and you would have students from other countries, because that gives you a better understanding of interpersonal or intercultural dimensions and how businesses are being handled in US or in Nigeria as compared to the businesses are being handled in India. So that's what this would talk about. So this was all a brief about the school. Now moving ahead with the industry trends, right? And what does these trends actually expect from students? So if you look at the figures quickly, I'll not give you all the trends, but I'm giving you in brief so that you have an idea of what all changes are happening now and whether the MBA program prepares you for that or not. So the global AI software, I hope all of you understand artificial intelligence software, it is expected to grow year on year by 154%. So that's the kind of growth artificial intelligence is looking at. Then 95% of the companies cited the need to manage unstructured data as concern for their business. So there is a lot of data being generated now, right? And I'm sure you understand how data is generated. If you order from Amazon, data is created. If you watch a movie on Netflix, or any other OTT platform, data is being generated. You are right now attending a webinar, you attended online classes, data is being generated, right? So whatever you do, a lot of data is being generated, and 95% of the companies feel they need to manage this data. This is very important for them to manage this data, right? Then 52% of the marketers, companies, they cite that growth would happen through digital transformation, and that would be their major strategic focus. So 3 things: artificial intelligence growth, unstructured data growth, and your digital transformation. These are some of the trends, right, which is changing the fundamental of every work. Whatever you do marketing, now you are doing it digitally. Employees working, you are now working from home, right? So you look at any kind of thing, these three dimensions would change the fundamental nature of work. And this means that the impact is across all disciplines, all sectors. So you talk about automobile, you talk about the cement industry, you talk about aerospace, you talk about education, and you talk about marketing, you talk about finance, you talk about HR, you talk about analytics, engineering. The impact of these three is across. So very, very important for all of you to understand. And now, if this is the impact, does the MBA program prepare you for that? So we'll look into that. But before that, this is one line which is important, that if it is a new world now, right? Last year, if you would have heard webinars, we were talking about the new normal. The word new normal was very important. But now, again, now we have went down, this is the normal now. So it is not a new now, because now we have been 1.5 years down the line. Now this appears to be online classes, online webinars, online meetings, right, working from home. This appears to be normal now, right? This doesn't appear to be new normal. So for this, we need new skills, right? The older skills would not work on these skills, this changes which we are witnessing. So an example is a World Economic Forum, one of most respected organization globally. They are saying that reskilling is needed. 50% of the employees, they need to reskill themselves during this period, right? Because of what changes are happening. And don't take it only because of pandemic. These changes were happening earlier also, but then this got a sudden boost because of the pandemic, right? It might have taken 10 years more for these changes to become new normal, but now this, because of pandemic, it has become very, very, very fast, right? So you look at this, 50% of all employees would need reskilling. That means the existing skills would not work. And what are those top 10 skills which have been identified in this organization that would be required by 2025? And all of you would need these skills, right? If you take admission now, you would be out by 2024. So all these skills would be required: analytical skills, active learning, complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, leadership, technology use, technology design, resilience, reasoning. And out of these, the focus largely is on technology, because this change, I'm not saying technology design and programming for MBA students, but technology use, monitor, and control. This has become so important that all other skills would largely depend upon this one skill, right? But then all these skills would be very, very important in the coming time for all of you. Right? So now, what is expected from these students? I just discussed the changes. What is expected from these students, right? First is you should be technology savvy, right? You saw this, right? All the companies which probably were able to survive and thrive in last 1.5 years, they are all technology savvy firms, right? So you need to have understanding of technology. When I say technology, I'm not comparing you with BTech students that you need to have hardcore skills. No, you need to have an understanding and usage of technology skills, which are very, very important. Second, data literacy. I told you there is a lot of data now being generated. Everything we are doing is a data, right? A lot of data, digital data is being generated. There is a lot huge shortage of people who have the skill to analyze this data. So data literacy is becoming one of very important skill. Then critical thinking, looking at positive and negative of both and evaluating it, right? Resilience, recover quickly from difficulties, right? You would have seen a lot of examples of companies who would have changed their models immediately. Once the lockdown was announced, the companies changed their models of working. Even the automobile companies started saying that probably the delivery and the service would be done at home, right? So a lot of business models got changed, but the companies which were not able to do that, they were not able to survive. So resilience means that you need to recover quickly from difficulties. But organizations don't recover from difficulty on their own. It is we, you, human beings who make them come out of the difficulty. So the human being should have this skill, how to bounce back in difficulties. Most of the people would sit at home and start cribbing that it is because of lockdown I am not able to study, it is because of lockdown that I am not been able to do this, it is because of the lockdown I have not been able to do that. But on the other hand, there are people who might have entered IITs, there are people who might have got a package of 42 lakh rupees from Microsoft. That all happened during pandemic because those are the people who bounced back quickly, right? Then adaptability, quickly adapting to the new environment system, right? In the fiercely competitive and changes which are happening around, you need to adapt quickly and change. You need to have creative, you need to be emotional intelligence, strong emotional intelligence leader, because if you cannot think about others, in an organization, if there are 4,000 people working, you don't have to think of only about yourself. How do you survive during this kind of situation? You need to think of how would these 4,000 people be able to survive. So that's very, very important skill required by the firm. So this is what is required. So you have to ask this question to yourself, that do you have all these skills required in this ever-changing environment? Even if you don't have these skills, right? What is the way forward? How do we move ahead? And the way forward is that the MBA program you are looking at must develop both the mindsets, right, and the skill set to navigate these challenges. That means right now you might have shortlisted that these are the MBA programs I would like to enter into. These are the universities I would like to enter into, right? You would not have only thought of LPU, you would have thought of many other institutions also. So the MBA program you should look at should be helping you. And how should it help you? I'll talk about few pointers, and these pointers would become a comparison point for you. You can compare all MBAs based upon these pointers only, right? So I'll now talk about the thing which I talked about. I said knowledge, right, plus experience plus career. This is why generally people do MBA. So the first thing I'll talk about is knowledge, and knowledge is generally imparted through curriculum, the MBA programs, right? So I'll quickly give you the MBA programs of LPU, and the first is your generic MBA program. And when I said that the entire working style is now technology based, that means the MBA program should prepare you for the technology working, right? How does the organizations work based upon the technology? So I'll give you a few courses which are core courses, and these courses are not only for the people with engineering background. These are the courses for every person who gets into an MBA. Spreadsheet modeling using Excel, business statistics and analytics again using Excel, research methodology using SPSS, data analytics using R language, right? Business intelligence using Tableau, and emerging technologies would talk about Internet of Things, Bitcoins, right? All these technology, artificial intelligence. So these are the core courses, right? These 6 core courses for every MBA student, so that they are ready for the environment which I just spoke about, the changes which were just happening. So these all 6 courses will prepare every one of you for the changes which I just discussed and which are all happening in the environment. Now in this MBA program, we would have 21 different specializations, right? 21 different specializations. So, and a person, any of you, can choose a super specialization, do 12 courses in one area. For example, in marketing, you pick up 12 courses, you are super specialized in marketing. But if you pick up 6 courses in marketing and 6 in HR, you are dual specialization in marketing and HR, 6 courses, right? But look at the kind of specializations you would get, and this is a comparison point. You would not get this number of specialization electives anywhere in any of the MBAs: marketing, finance, human resource, operations, retail management, international business, information technology, strategy, entrepreneurship. These are all areas of specialization without which generally MBA is not treated to be an MBA, right? So, but then because of the changes now happening in the industry and all the changes which I discussed, we have new age specializations also on offer. And look at these specializations now: business analytics, digital marketing, artificial intelligence, e-commerce, agribusiness, auditing and taxation, finance technology, investment banking, financial markets, financial consulting, hospital and healthcare. All new age specializations. So you can choose 12 courses from marketing, or you can choose 12 courses from finance, or if you want to do dual specializations, you can pick up 6 from HR, you can pick 6 from artificial intelligence, right? So you can make it a dual specialization. So that's about MBA program. Another wonderful program that we have is Mba Honors, right? And very, very unique program, right? So here we have a module system, right? For all of your information, we have 8 modules, right? So we don't have 4 semesters, we have 8 modules. In each semester, you have 2 modules. So in every module, the courses would be delivered by international and industry faculty. At least one course by international or industry faculty would be taught in every module. Right? Then we would have specializations with industry recognized certifications. You'll get specialization, but you'll get industry certifications also. For example, digital marketing, you'll get Digital Marketing Institute certification. Financial market, you'll get NSC certification. Then for business analytics, you'll get Wiley Next certification. For HR, you'll get SHRM certification. For your artificial intelligence, business analytics, you'll get 3AI certification. And for finance, you'll get KPMG certification. So in MBA, you can do these specializations, but in here, the industry people would come, they'll teach you, and you'll get an industry certification. So taught by industry people, and overall above you'll get an industry certification, right? Which you'll not get in the MBA program, which I just explained. Then we will give 20,000 to each student, and you can invest it in stock market. The profit would be yours. We will train you how to invest, right? And you can look at what kind of companies you should be putting your money in and how much return you are getting. So you learn how to invest in firms, right? Then we'll host a competition, and anybody who has a good idea how to start a business, what kind of business you want to start, you will get 3 to 5 lakh rupees to run the business on the campus. So university would give you money to run the business on campus. Then we have innovation and research. So 10,000 more would be given to you, and you can write a research paper on it. You can write a copyright. You can use this money for any innovation kind of activity once approved by your respective heads. So these 3 pointers, the university is actually investing you, giving you money. So look at the return on investment. If you are paying fees, you are getting money back on these 3 initiatives. Then international visit. A week's international visit would be organized to your countries like Dubai, Singapore, right? So you'll have industrial visits there. You'll have guest lectures from the industry people there. Then simulation from the Harvard Business Publishing. You'll have live projects, and you will have industry mentors to guide you in your career. So that's the MBA Honors program, right? Very, very, very unique program. Then we have industry tie-up programs: MBA Business Analytics with Wiley, MBA Financial Markets with NSC, MBA Supply Chain with Safe Educate, MBA Talent Edge, that's with Talent Edge, right? So all these are in tie-up with industry. Now, what is the benefit of industry tie-up program? That probably they are the people who know what changes are happening in the industry. So once there are partners, they bring in the changes immediately to the curriculum, and they give us the experts. The experts comes and deliver the lectures here, right? So a lot of industry interactions happen in form of curriculum development, in form of training, in terms of placements in the industry tie-up programs, right? And the last one, if I give you a quick overview on what MBA with Talent Edge program, it is again a very, very unique program, first of its kind corporate program, we call it. it promises you, it assures you the placement within the first 6 months of the program. Now, it is not that the other program doesn't have placement, right? All the programs which I'm talking of here have very good placement record. But the only thing is here, the Talent Edge team actually assures that once you take admission, within the first 6 months, you'll get the placement. And after that placement, the curriculum would be taught to you what those companies require. And finally, 9 months training would happen in the same company where you will also get stipend, right? So paid internship, minimum 10,000 internship you'll get for 9 months. Again, think of return on investment, right? So the same company. So this model is different. The placement happens in the beginning, then the same curriculum would be taught to you, and then finally you do the internship in the same company, and finally that company observes you as a finance. So here we are offering 5 specializations: investment banking, sales and marketing, applied human resource, logistics, and data science and data analytics. These are the 5 areas we are offering. And if you want to know about this company, Talent Edge, you can go on their website and you will see that they have offered a lot of programs with IIMs, XLRI, MDI. So that gives you confidence that we don't work with any partner, but we work with only those partners who have the reputation in the industry. Then these are some of the training and placement partners of Talent Edge who are providing training as of now to the previous batch. Then we have other MBA programs like hospital and healthcare, international business, tourism, and hospitality. So let me tell you, every program have their own strengths, right? Every program have their unique features. It is only depending upon your interest and career goals that you decide which program is suitable for me, right? For us, all of them are good. All of them offer value for money, and but it depends upon your interest. So person who is very clear that I want to go into export and import management, then for them it is international business management which they should be doing. Why do generic MBA? They should straight away go into international business. So courses starts from the first term. International business courses would start. So people who want to make a career in hospital and healthcare, for example, people with B Pharma or people with medical background, if they want to join, then they should join hospital and healthcare management program, right? But somebody who's not very sure about that, I want to make my career in this line only, for them, you have generic MBA program where in first 2 modules, you'll get a complete generic orientation, and then you can decide which area is suitable for you, right? So this was about the knowledge, right? So I just discussed about how the knowledge would be provided to you. So through curriculum, through courses, the knowledge would be imparted through all these MBA programs. Now, the second important thing which I told you is experience. What kind of student experience would be there when the student joins LPU, right? Now, I put it in this line. If you look at, there is no better experience than the experience. That means you need to have experience to see whether this experience is good or not. So we provide, MSB provides comprehensive academic support and resources, and experience and extracurricular opportunity to enhance and enrich your MBA experience. This is very, very important. Extracurricular opportunities are very, very important in MBA program, because in MBA it is largely your personality which is more important than, for example, I generally tell this to the people that in case of engineering, an engineering person can tell that if you use these 2 wires, the current would pass or there might be a spark, and why this is happening. But in case of MBA, there is no such skill which can be demonstrated. But the way I am communicating with you, similarly, I have to communicate with others, and I have to convince customers to buy. I have to convince my employees to work harder, right? I need to convince my finance people to bring in more money, resources, right? So that personality is very, very important in case of MBA, and that comes from knowledge, but more from the experience you get in this MBA program, right? So we offer an experience which is more challenging and rewarding. So you will be challenged and you would also be rewarded. Reward can be in many forms. Reward can be in form of certificates, it can be in form of trophies, or it can be in form of a career ahead, right? So there can be many rewards. So I call it as an integrated student experience, which is in-class experience, what is happening inside the class and what is happening beyond the class, outside the class. So in class is all about the curriculum, which I talked about, right? MBA program. Plus, it also includes a lot of other things which we do in the classes: simulations, current news analysis, case studies, dilemma situations, scenario planning, role plays, experiential activities. It is not a regular class where the teacher comes, the saint comes and delivers. It is half of the class probably would be taken by the teachers at delivery mode, whereas half of the class would be in form of discussions, in form of doing. So it is more to now do with doing, not with the listening. Listening is important, but throughout the lecture you don't listen, you need to do, you have to work, right? And all these things make you actually work. So that is the in-class experience. Then face-to-face to hybrid mode, we give you an opportunity to work on online certifications from Mittal, Coursera, and look at this number: 1,000 plus certifications in 1 year, in last 1 year, by our students. And we give this an opportunity because in class we say, if you want to do this assignment, you do an assignment. If you want to go in for a certification, you can do certification. So student can choose a certification because that adds to the resume, right? So we replace the assignment with the MOOC. So opportunity again in the class, in the curriculum, so that you gain that experience. Then 150 plus interactions were arranged in last 1 year only. People from companies like Nissan, Rolls-Royce, Infosys, Shell, Coca-Cola, they come to the class and talk to you, right? From last 1.5 years, it has been done only through online mode, but otherwise they come to the university and physically interact with you all, right? So these banners which I am showing, these are all from last. You can see the dates. Probably this is 2021, this is 2021, this is 2021, this is 2020, right? So most all recent I am showing you this. So one of the best way to learn in management is to learn from the experiences of others. You get inspired when you actually speak to the leaders. Jeff Bezos, today he came back from space probably, right? So you get inspired because of that, right? So that kind of, these people would share that kind of experiences they have in industry, come and share with you, and that inspires you. Then alumni interactions in the class, right? Look at this: Manoj from Sri Lanka, Buzar from Afghanistan, right? Suman is in Union Bank of India, Sendra is from Nepal, Gauhar is in Central University of Jammu, she is an entrepreneur, he is in Saudi Arabia. So look at these people when they come to the class and look at the topics. All of these are the topics which they come and discuss with you. They give you the industry perspective. So it is not only the teacher who is teaching you. Industry people are coming and interacting with you. Alumni coming and interacting with you, right? So a lot of things happening in the class. Then in the class, you might have students from Nepal, you might have students from Mongolia, from India, you might have from some other country. So that diversity in the class is very important for discussions, right? So that experience you would get within the class. Then this experience you might get within or with outside the class, right? Life is very important for MBA students. Look at the companies: Bikaji, GSK, Oyo, Glaxo, Paytm, Decathlon, Outlook, Capgemini. All this have given the option to our students to do live projects. Look at these figures: 584 students in 45 companies have done in the live projects, right? So they give you problems, and they might give you a product to sell. So you get sales targets and you sell, and this is happening during the MBA program. They tell you we need to hire people. So HR people actually do interviews, first round interviews, and then they pass on the candidates to the company, right? So all this would be happening during the classes only. Or then outside the class, events being organized, right? Summit. Look at the industry people who have come for this summit, right? And why I'm sharing you everything which has happened in last 1 year, because I also want to give you a confidence that even if there is a pandemic, there is no compromise in the delivery. Classes went 100% as per it used to be in the live classes. Same timetable, everything same, right? Though we were at distance places, but there's no compromise. Similarly, we organized n number of events, n number of guest lectures, which were probably more than what we were doing when we were in the physical mode. So this should give you a confidence that when we are talking of a live MBA or when we are talking of an online MBA, there is no compromise. But it's not an online MBA. I use the word online MBA because last 1 year and everything went online, right? Though we are very, very hopeful. I think all of you would also be very, very hopeful that after vaccination, probably now, the governments would allow the institutions to open and we would be able to have the physical classes, right? But I just wanted to give you an assurance that we didn't do any compromise in last 1 year also. So look at this, we had a conference and 12 different countries people came and delivered their lectures in the conference, right? All I've shown you, all international people except for the person, if you know him, Ashwani Lohani. He is the former chief managing director of Air India. He was the chief guest for this conference. Then we had a lot of other events, for example, CSR event. We planted a lot of trees all across the India because students were at their home. So we created it as a challenge. And International Tractors Limited gave them the best awards also, right? Prizes also. Then Nivea Sports, we organized another competition, Declutter Your Home using 5S techniques. This is the management technique, 5S, right? Then Run for Peace. People, all students ran in different parts of the state and world and created their videos and photographs and sent to us. And the SBI Foundation was the one which actually sponsored this event and gave prizes to the students. So a lot of industry events happened, right? Then if you look at this outside the class experience, this is known as ATOM, Activity Team of Management, ATOM. One of the very important dimension of management is the clubs we have. These are all clubs, management clubs, HR club, finance club, strategy club, Quester club, right? Operations club, student training club. So these clubs are run by the students. When you join LPU, you would become part of club. You can become part of all clubs. You can become part of one club, or you can become the coordinator of the club also, right? Not only member, but you can run these clubs. Apart from this, if you feel there is one area where we don't have a club, you can start a new club. Why I'm focusing upon this club more is because you can see, look at this activities they all do, workshops, knowledge hub, webinars, awareness campaigns, events, meetings, conferences, interviews, alumni connect, CSR. All this give you management experience of organizing a wonderful event. When you organize an event, you need to ensure so many things, right? You need to manage the entire show. So that gives you the management experience, right? Look at this, all these are, and they get these kind of certificates after this: certificate of achievement, certificate of participation, right? All these are the certifications which the student get after doing these events and participation. And we have a competition among all the clubs. Every semester we declare which club is the best club. We give point for every activity, for every participation, and then at the end we do an event. We hold a ceremony, and there we award the best club and the people of the best club. So this is a wonderful experience and any student can get. Now quickly coming to the third dimension, I covered the first dimension as knowledge, the MBA programs. Second, I told you experience inside the class, outside the class. This all experience makes you an exact MBA. Well, this experience is required to be an MBA. And finally, I'm talking about the career now, career options. In case of career, I believe we at Mittal School of Business or LPU treat career in three dimensions. One, higher education. Second, entrepreneurship. And third, corporate jobs. Not everybody is looking for jobs, right? So there are people who would like to do PhD after MBA. So we have a PhD program. We prepare students for those kind of exams which are required for higher education. So some of you might be interested in higher education, right? Then second is entrepreneurship. LPU is actually famous for its entrepreneurial opportunities and the ecosystem it provides. We have a dedicated startup school. The ventures you see here, these ventures are of our students. And as of now, total 50 plus ventures have been started by Mittal School of Business students only. I'm talking about MBA students only, right? So you can choose a pathway of entrepreneurship. You can do a specialization also in entrepreneurship, and you can start a venture on the campus, or you can start a venture the way you want, but there would be a complete support provided to you on the campus for starting a venture. And the third dimension, again, very important dimension, which most of the people look at, is the corporate jobs. And if you look at these companies, these are companies where our alumni are working: MRF, Trident, Berger, Amazon, Colgate Palmolive, Heritage, Everest, Calvin Care. You name most of the prominent companies and you'll find they would be here, right? And we had 217 companies visiting us, primarily only for MBA program, which has offered jobs in this pandemic period. The only change which we witnessed during the pandemic period was that probably all interviews were held or process was held online. Otherwise, we didn't have the dearth of the companies as of now, right? So we offer a wonderful career. You can see the companies here: OYO, right, HDFC Bank, Torrent, WNS. So anybody who is interested for the job would definitely get a job, but the only condition is that he should be ready to put in the efforts which are required, right? Because you need to work hard for getting placed. Why is it that one of the student might get 13.6 lakhs, whereas the other student get a 5 lakh job, right? It's not by chance. It's the person has worked hard for this, right? So, but we prepare every student equally, but the efforts required from the student parts are very important. The last point which I want to make is, if you look at the situation now, you will find the economy is going down, which probably means a lot of job loss. There are no jobs in market, less jobs in market, right? And salaries are going down probably. There are salary cuts, but this is how the recovery would happen. I don't know if you read newspapers. There are many different kind of recoveries which happen. This is a U-shaped recovery. That means it will take some time to recover, but it would recover, right? And this time might be 2 years or it might be 1 year, so depending upon. But this time, this period is when you get the maximum offers, good jobs, companies grow, so you get better salaries. So that's the reason I call MBA as best investment, because you have 2 years time now. If you invest it now, you would probably be out during the recovery phase, and you will get the best opportunities in the market. But I'm again giving you confidence and again giving you statistics that even during pandemic, if you have the right skill, our students got the same kind of jobs. The only thing is we prepared them for these jobs now more. We prepared them more technology oriented jobs, right? We prepared them for all these kind, and they got the similar kind of opportunities which probably we were getting earlier. Only thing is that the job profiles were slightly changed, right? So I think this is all from my side. These are some pointers which I have just written at the end, but I have already discussed all these points with you. Why you should be thinking about doing MBA from LPU. And now I'll take up questions if you have any related to my presentation or any other questions which comes to your mind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation, giving an insight into gaining knowledge, gaining experience and career accreditation, disciplines, major industry trends, expectations from the students, industry tie-ups, specialized MBAs, integrated student experience. That was wonderful for all of us. And I would request all the attendees to please put up your question to the experts directly. I'll be giving you the rights. Please raise your hand through the interface. I'll be connecting you. So we have a question coming from Jyoti Kumari. Jyoti, I am giving you the rights. Please unmute yourself and talk to Dr. Verma directly. Jyoti Kumari, I have given you the rights. Jyoti, please unmute yourself and be live. Jyoti, are you there? Okay, so I'll be taking up her question. What is meant by there will be 8 modules in 2 years? She wants to know more about it.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, I think good question. If you look at some of the best institutions in the country, if you look at top NRIF ranked institutions, we generally have trimester system, right? And we also had trimester system, but now we are moving to a modular system, which is even known to be better than the trimester system. What it means is that in one semester we would have 2 modules. That means your uh, one course would start, and after 8 weeks there would be an end-term exam for it, right? Then your second module will start. After 8 weeks again there would be an exam for it. So this way you have 8 modules. And why we did this? Because you see, when the industry people come and deliver, they come for module based, they come for a short duration. So the course has been designed in such a way that they can come and deliver the course to you, right? Second, why we did this is because this gives an opportunity to offer more courses. In a regular MBA, in a semester MBA, you would have probably 30 courses, 32 courses at maximum. But in case of modular courses, we have 44 courses, right? So you have a breadth of courses. So if I have to teach you design thinking, we have added a course on design thinking, which is very current in the industry now. If you have to teach a course on data analytics, that means we have to teach you slightly little larger number of courses which are in demand now, right? So we have this opportunity to give you a little more number of courses and increase your breadth, which is actually required by the industry. So that's why we are actually offering modular MBA. That's what we mean by module. So rather than semester, we call it at 8 modules.
Thank you, Dr. Verma, and I hope Jyoti is well answered by Dr. Verma. And moving on to Rashmi Sharma. Rashmi, I have given you the rights. Please unmute yourself, Rashmi, and take up your question. Rashmi, please unmute yourself. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Sir,
Good
I'm
evening.
Rashmi Sharma. Sir, actually, I am a BSc medical student, and I want to like there is a least number of opportunities in BSc medical, so I want to do MBA. So it is good or not?
Rashmi, I think if you had seen my first slide, I told you that MBA is just like a sea where all the rivers come and meet, right? So there is no discipline which would not get a value add by doing MBA, right? Because MBA is something which gives you managerial skills. So anybody from any discipline, if he wants a good career growth, MBA is good for him. So you should be very confident that even if you are doing BSc medical and you would like to come to MBA, you definitely can have a very good career, right? How do you use your strength? It is on to you. For example, if you have a medical background and you do an MBA, you can still go in for a lot of companies like Renbexy, or you can go in for other companies which prefer students with the medical background. So be assured you would have a wonderful career if you choose MBA after even BSc medical.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much. Rashmi, I hope your question is well answered. And before I move on to a few other queries, that those are coming up from Dharamveer Sharma and Madhav Sharma. I can see Kirti is there. You can come up with the queries. And meanwhile, we'll give a little break to Dr. Verma and move on to Ms. Kavisha. We'll talk about money. We will talk about something to heal your pockets. We'll talk about scholarship finally. And it's over to Ms. Kavisha. I'm giving you the necessary rights for a quick presentation onto scholarship and a little bit of eligibility.
Good evening, everyone. So my screen is visible?
Yeah.
Let me take you to the exotic journey of lovely professional university. If I talk about the campus life and the exposure, first thing I would like to tell you that the 106th Indian Science Congress was held in lovely Professional University and was inaugurated by none other than Honorable PM of India, Shri Narendra Modi. Dalai Lama was part of a convocation at lovely Professional University. Shri Pranab Mukherjee ji, the former President of India, sharing the stage with the Honorable Chancellor, Shri Ashok Mittal ji. Shri Arun Jaitley ji, who inaugurated our LPU Startup School. All the eminent personalities have been part of lovely Professional University. Gaur Gopal Das ji, giving valuable information about life to my students. Talking about all the real life heroes from Shah Rukh Khan to Deepika Padukone, MS Dhoni, Sonam Kapoor, all have visited lovely Professional University and shared their real life experiences with my students. Talking about the infrastructure, I can vouch on one thing: we have world's best infrastructure. You can see from this eminent architecture where the 13 blocks are joined together. Let's peep inside this architecture. Let's see what is inside this eminent architecture. Talking about the closed auditorium with a capacity of 2,500 seats, where the Gaur Gopal Das ji was giving his valuable information. Talking about the well-equipped labs, where the updated softwares are there to train my students. The library, which is operational till 12 at night during the exams and 8 p.m. during the regular days. This is the heart of lovely Professional University, the Unimall. All the basic amenities of life are available inside the mall. We do believe that fitness is the prime goal of my students. So we do have a gym facility inside the campus. Layer activities are part of my students' life. So we have the bowling area, we have the gymnasium, and so many other activities are part of your day-to-day life. Health is very important. So we have the hospital inside the campus with the 20 beds and the well-experienced doctors. This is the open-air auditorium with the solar panels with a capacity of 20,000 students. Look at this view, lovely Professional University, the lush green environment. I feel so proud to be associated with lovely Professional University, looking at this architecture. Lovely Professional University shining and glowing in the light of moon and stars. Talking about the sports, we name a sport and we have it. We have the swimming pool, we have the shooting range, we have the badminton courts, basketball courts, and we have the well-experienced trainers to train my students. And even similar, we have the cultural activities as well. We talk about the residential facility and the security. That is the prime focus of lovely Professional University. It's a completely ragging-free campus. Talking about the residential facilities, we have 6 girls hostel, 8 boys hostel with a capacity of 20,000. 1-seater, air cooler, air conditioned, 2-seater, 3-seater, 4-seater luxury apartments with the food option standard South Indian, North Indian. If I talk about 4-seater air cooler, the charges are 68,000 per academic year, and 34,000 is for the food per academic year. We have all the basic amenities inside the campus. It's a mini town itself. Programs offered, if I talk about an MBA, we have Mba Honors with the duration of 2 years and 8 modules. The eligibility of Mba Honors is passed with 55% aggregate marks in the bachelor degree or equivalent. Along with that, you need to qualify LPU Nest. You can be exempted from this particular test if you have cleared CAT, MAT, ZAT, XMAT or NMAT or CMAT. Along with that, you need to qualify interview. Interview is compulsory. For Mba Honors, there's some additional things that you need to go for it after you clear the LPU Nest exam and the interview. You need to go for the final selection process. Will be an admission in MBAs will be based on the written essay, that is 20% weightage, interview 60% weightage, and work experience 20% weightage, subject to scoring minimum marks in the interview. If we talk about the MBA, again, it's 2 years, 8 modules. Eligibility here, it is 55% aggregate marks in the bachelor degree, any discipline. Like there was a query that can we go for the MBA program? Yes, it's only the graduation is required from any discipline or the equivalent. Along with that, you need to qualify LPU Nest or CAT, MAT, XMAT, NMAT or CMAT and the interview. For MBA, we don't have to go for the apart from anything else about the interview, or complete company secretary from Institute of Company Secretaries of India, ICSI, or completed chartered accountancy from Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, or completed cost management accounting from Institute of Cost Accounts of India. Talking about the health, hospital and healthcare management, again, the duration remains the same. The eligibility remains the same as the normal MBA. Talking about MBA tourism and hospitality, I'm talking about here the specialized MBAs with the 2 years, 8 modules. Here also the eligibility remains the same as the normal MBA. Talking about the MBA international business, Here also the eligibility remains the same as the normal MBA. Talking about the MBA Talent Edge, the duration remains the same. The eligibility differs with the pass of 55% aggregate marks in the bachelor degree, any discipline or equivalent, subject to qualify LPU NEST or any of the national level exam and the interview. Along with that, you need to qualify the psychometric test that will help you to choose your specialization. Going apart from the next MBA, that is the business analytics with the NXT, duration remains the same, but the eligibility differs. That is passed with 55% aggregate marks in BE or BTech or any discipline of BSc Physics, Chemistry and Mathematics or BSc Mathematics or BA Economics or Maths or Statistics or BCom or BBA or BCA or equivalent, subject to qualify again LPU NEST or CAT or MAT or XMAT or NMAT or CMAT and the interview. If I talk about MBA Financial Markets with NSC Academy, the eligibility here is passed with 55% marks in the bachelor degree, equivalent, subject to qualify LPU NEST and the interview. Talking about the MBA Supply Chain Logistics with Safe Educate, the eligibility remains the same as the MBA program. Talking about the fee and scholarship, very important. I'm sure everyone is waiting to know about what is the fee for the MBA program. If I talk about the scholarship, I feel so proud when I share that 60,000 students in the last 7 years has been benefited from the scholarship program that total accounts for the 500 crore rupees. We talk about the MBA program, the fee is 1,90,000 per semester. And if you can get the scholarship, that is 30% scholarship, how you can avail that scholarship and get your amount reduced to 1,33,000, you have three options. We are talking about the previous two qualifications as well. Either you can have in your graduation 70 to 79.9%, or in your class 12 80 to 89.9%, or in your LPU NEST cutoff 3, you will be able to get the scholarship for 30%. You might be having a module system, but you will be paying for only 4 semesters in MBA, that is in a year 2 times, right? If I talk about the higher scholarship bracket of 40%, how you can avail that and get your amount to be 1,14,000 per semester. If you get into LPU NEST cutoff 2, remarks, UG marks, if I talk about graduation, 80 to 89.9%, or in your class 12, 90 to 94.9, you're eligible for the 40% scholarship. Talking about the highest bracket of scholarship, and the fee will be only 95,000 per semester. That can be availed if you get into LPU NEST cutoff 1, or in your UG 90% above, or in your class 12 95% above marks. Now, how to proceed with the application process? You need to do the sign up. You need to register into LPU Admit with the basic details for name, email ID, mobile number, state, gender, password. Your email ID will act as your username and the password, and this set as the registering on the portal. You will get mail on your registered email ID regarding this. Log in into your LPU Admit with the already created username and password. Your second step will be apply for the LPU NEST eligibility and scholarship test. Book your exam slot. After you appear in the exam, your result will be out. You'll be appearing for the interview, and then you can proceed for the admission process. It's very simple. Everything is available online. Your payment will be done online. So we'll be there, happy to facilitate you. We have the admission number and the email ID. You can take the screenshot, and I will really love to help my students who want to go for the further admission process. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, you can please ask.
So thank you so much, Ms. Kavisha, to give a brief idea about the infrastructure, the eligibility, and the scholarship. Definitely. Now I move on to a few of the queries. In case we have any, we have a hand raised from Dharamveer Sharma. And Dharamveer, I am going to give you the rights. Please unmute yourself and talk to Dr. Verma if you have any queries. Yeah.
There is MBA in collaboration with Talent Edge, and one MBA is with collaboration with Supply Chain and Logistics with Safe Educate, and both offer supply chain management. I want to know that what are the difference between the both organization, rather it is Talent Edge or with Safe Educate.
You see, good question. MBA supply chain with Safe Educate. Safe Educate is a company which is a education wing of Safe Express, and I hope you have heard Safe Express is one of the largest logistics company in India, right? So they come with that kind of experience and deliver this program for our students. And in this program, when we are doing with Safe Educate, these specialization courses starts from the first module. First, when you just join the program, your specialization starts from there on. Whereas when we talk of MBA Talent Edge program, right? MBA Talent Edge program, first two modules are generic. You don't have specialization in those two programs. And then you choose the specialization. Out of those 5 areas, you can choose logistics as a supply chain. Now, what is the fundamental difference? The fundamental difference is that one is a specialized program where the supply chain courses start from the first module itself, whereas in case of Talent Edge, it starts from the third module. Second distinguishing factor between the two programs is that in case of Talent Edge, I told you there is an assured placement in the first 6 months. In case of MBA Safe Educate, the placement would happen, but that would happen in the second year, when after you come back from training or you do your the third semester courses, and after that the placement would definitely happen there also. But in case of Talent Edge, the placement is assured after first 6 months. Then you will study only courses of the company you are selected in, logistic courses, and finally you will do a 9 months training in the same company before getting placed, right? So both the programs are for the same industry, prepare you for the same industry, but way of preparing you for those career is different. Now, if you want to have an assured placement in first 6 months and 9 months internship, paid internship, MBA Talent Edge program is for you. If you want to do a program with the company which itself is famous for logistics, then MBA Safe Express or Safe Educate program is for you, right? But ultimately it depends upon how would you like to build your career, right? With which company you would like to build your career. So for that's how you will have to select this program. But otherwise, both the programs prepare you well for the supply chain and logistics industry. Rishi, not able to hear you.
Thank you so much, sir. The next query goes to Ms. Kavisha because it's regarding LPU Nest. Manoj wants to know, is it necessary to write LPU Nest when we have already written any management aptitude test?
I've already informed you, if you've written any of the national level test, then the LPU Nest will be exempted, but interview is compulsory. So if you have given the MAT exam or CMAT, so then you don't have to go for the LPU Nest. But yes, I'll suggest you can go for the LPU Nest for the scholarship purpose. You should not be skipping that part, because the scholarship is the maximum is 50% that you can get into if you get into the cutoff one for the LPU Nest. So that is why my first advice to all my students is to do appear in the test and get into the maximum scholarship, because maximum of the students who are studying in MBA are studying under scholarship. So don't miss that part. We do provide scholarship. Sorry, sir. We do provide scholarship on the national level test also. So if you will falling into the bracket of the higher cutoffs, then definitely you'll be getting the scholarship based on your national level test as well.
So, Manoj, I hope you are well answered and given more clarity by Ms. Kavisha. So I'll move on to the next query that is coming from Madhav Sharma. Madhav, I'm giving you the rights. Please talk to the experts.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Good evening.
Sir, I want to pursue MBA in the financial market. I need your guidance whether I should go for 2-year specialization or should I choose generic MBA in first year and go for specialization in second year.
Again, good question, but I'll suggest you should go in for MBA Financial Markets, because somebody who is very clear that he wants to make a career in financial markets, then probably this program is best for you, because in MBA you would not get NSE certification. We provide those opportunities, but then it would be up to you whether you would like to avail, not avail, or because additional payment to NSE has to go there. But in case then you go in for the tie-up program, there are inbuilt 12 certifications which you will be doing with NSE, right? So because when you do a career in financial markets, these certifications of NSE hold very high value. So once you are clear, I'll suggest you should go for MBA Financial Markets program rather than a generic program.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Right.
So the next we move on to Kirti Priya. Kirti, I'm giving you the rights. Please unmute yourself and talk to Dr. Verma. Kirti Priya.
Sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I am BCA student, sir. If I take MBA Honors in HR and IT, how career will be, sir?
Good. IT I would not suggest because you would have already taken IT courses in BCA, but I would suggest you related courses which would be more from the domains which I discussed, artificial intelligence or business analytics. If you take courses from these domains, definitely you would have a wonderful career because you already have. When you have done BCA, I'm sure you would have a good knowledge of IT courses, right? So if you top up them with the HR and with the current demand courses, I'm sure this would be a very good combination.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much, sir, for giving all the queries answered. So I would like to sign off now by saying, experts, your years of research and your depth of understanding the topic and your ability to present the topic in such an interesting way produced one of the most wonderful afternoons for all the attendees. On behalf of all the attendees of this webinar, I would like to thank you for your insightful presentation. Hopefully, the attendees also found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information provided by the experts in your academics and definitely the admission. I am obliged and once again thankful to all the experts for strengthening this platform. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So